Something feels off in Toronto right now. The Toronto Blue Jays have lost four straight series, and the vibe around this team has flipped fast. Blue Jays was supposed to be a contender. Blue Jays was supposed to be a balanced roster. Instead, the Blue Jays suddenly look shaky. And when you dig into why this is happening, one issue jumps off the page immediately. The Blue Jays starting pitching behind the top of the rotation has fallen apart. Armando, we spent weeks worrying about the Blue Jays offense earlier this season, but now it feels like the real problem has revealed itself. How worried are you about this Blue Jays rotation right now?
Uh, Blue Jays fans should be very worried, very concerned right now. The Blue Jays, that was supposed to be the strength coming into the season, right? That was the talk off season with signings of Dylan Cease and the spring report was that this is going to be the strongest rotation. Uh, they have the depth, 6, 7 starters, and so far within the first 3 weeks of the season, that is actually the weakest area that they're in. Um, yeah, so right now when everything else is they're not hitting or scoring enough runs and or losing series, that's actually it. It's more magnified their weakness, right? And right now, like their starting rotation is not it's not what people thought to be. And once again, and like I think I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, you cannot waste Kevin Gossman's starts. Look, they're good quality starts, and he's going deep, but you just cannot. You have to win those. When your ace is starting, you have to win those games. But at this point, there are too many injuries. And yeah, like keeps happening. I think the Giants went through this last year. Like it was just a injury after injury, delays after delays, right? So it's like what else can go wrong is going wrong right now, and that's what I feel about the Blue Jays right now. And and it doesn't help when you're like 15, 16 in offense, and right when you're in the right in the middle, you just don't go anywhere, right? Like that's worse.
Yeah, I think that's where a lot of Blue Jays fans are landing right now, Armando, because this isn't just a bad week. This is four straight series, like I've mentioned, where the same issue keeps showing up. The starters behind, like you said, Gossman and Cease aren't giving this team a chance to win consistently, and when that happens, everything snowballs. Like we mentioned this last week, the bullpen gets stretched, and you get like mix and match, like you said that Tyler Rogers shouldn't be pitching in and out of the eighth inning,
Yeah.
right? That's a concern. And suddenly a contender starts looking like very beatable right now. This feels like the first real test of the season for the Blue Jays team, and how they respond in the next couple of weeks is going to tell us a lot. Like we mentioned, like last week, Armando, you said you cannot win the World Series in March and April, but you can slowly lose it, right? If you keep losing like series after series after series, right?
Yeah, and once again, like this is we're just we're 10% into the season, right? There's still a lot, right? And the good thing that's happening for the Blue Jays is the rest of the division is not looking so strong, right? So no one's pulling away, so there's still you're still within reach. They just have to put it together, but they're going into a pretty rough road trip right now, starting in with the Brew Crew in Milwaukee. So that's going to be a good challenge for them. But yes, they have to they have to swim against the current right now to survive this early season
Yeah,
struggles.
yeah. This is what the Blue Jays are starting pitching right now. Looks like 15th in WHIP with 1.31, 20th in batting average, which is 240. Fourth in home runs allowed, 20 already, and 11th in hits allowed with 121. And here's his Gossman's stats: 26 Ks, 13.5 K per nine with point 63 whip with 2.0 ERA, and Cease is not far behind with 26K, 16K for 9 and 143 whip with 2.45 ERA, but the rest of the rotation is horrible. I don't want to mention it because they're it's all above 7 right now with Eric Lauer, Max Scherzer, Patrick Corbin, and like you mentioned last week, the Josh Fleming. His ERA was sitting at around 12. So uh, can we get someone to like pick up the slack before this snowballs, or should we just still wait for Yesavage and not Bieber, because Bieber won't be able to pitch, I think, until mid June. Berrios might be, but are
Well,
we really waiting for those two, or should the Blue Jays like see if they can trade for someone else out there?
well, I think you have to see what you have in those two, right? Is there going to be a sophomore slump from last rookie season, right? Impressive rookie season. Is Berrios has not looked good in the last couple of years. Well, he bounced back not just from last, like maybe last year was a outlier, right? So there's a lot to prove within those two starters, and that's like if when they come back healthy, are they how they're gonna look, right? They haven't pitched. It was a slow spring training, right? Like they didn't push too hard, but now like in a sense, if they're expected to come back in May, they're gonna be pushing hard and double A, triple A to get back to the big club, right? But you don't know what you're gonna have, right? So that's but you have to see, right?
Yeah, because like we mentioned, Savage.
Hmm.
If Savage comes back, this will be Savage's first real season.
Correct.
So we like I mentioned this before. They won't stretch Savage right out of the gate, right? Because you don't want him with a coming down with another injury. I'm not laughing at the injury, but it can happen if you stretch him out right away, right? So the Blue Jays have to be careful with Yesavage and Berrios when they come back, because both of them are coming from injuries, right?
Yeah, and you don't want to exactly. It's a tough position to be in, especially when the big club is struggling. So now there's extra pressure from the training staff to the organization to the players saying like, hey, we kind of need you. They're gonna be rushing back, right? So it puts a lot of pressure. So hopefully they're smart how to handle that situation because um, I think this happened with the Giants where Blake Snell wasn't on the on the team. He kept pushing it to come back, because like he wanted to help. Every player wants to help their team, right? But he just there was extra pressure, so he extra push, and he kept delaying his starts. I mean his coming back because he was made one start and he was back in the 10-day IL list.
Yeah, you really can't do that with the amount of injuries the Blue Jays are having right now. If you rush Savage and you rush Berrios and they come down with another injury long term, and that will be devastating for the team and devastating for the players as well, right?
I think what they have to do right now, other teams, other players need to step up right now, like to carry their load, right? So it's kind of like, yeah, like it's like Vlad needs to step up, and the rest of the offense needs to step up to help the pitching staff, right? They just can't because if the team is not picking up the pitching staff, then it puts more pressure. They have to feel like they can't put the ball on the ground or put up on the air, so it just adds more pressure, right? So they have to play together as a team and not individual baseball. There, give me
Yeah,
some.
it's
Sorry,
speaking of
there.
speaking of picking the slack, the Blue Jays offense have to pick up the slack because of another injury, and this injury might actually hurt the pitching stuff more than the lineup, like you said, because when you lose a spark plug at the top of the order, you're suddenly asking your starters to be perfect every single night, like you said, just to win games. The George Springer toe fracture puts even more pressure on the rotation, not to give up runs, not to give up multiple hits in an inning that already feels like it has a zero margin for error right now. So what do you think about the George Springer toe fracture here, Armando?
Well, it's a devastating blow, right? After all the injuries, this happened. So yeah, like it's like what else can go wrong, right? Like it's gonna catch a break, and it's only been 3 weeks, right? So it's like they're already struggling, right? Like it's trying to keep anybody healthy. Um, I guess the good it's a big blow, right? So especially like the season they had last year, especially in the playoffs. So I think with the good thing about trading for Sosa, that he has played in the throughout the every position in the infield. So he's a veteran. He can play. You can plug and play. So that's why they traded for him. Uh, he has he has had a good um, like the Waxers were brave about him. They can't say good things about enough good things about him. So he's respected, but so that's a positive thing. But it's a big blow for the rest Springer itself because you need him.
Yeah, we're not asking for Sosa to be George Springer. No one could. No one can be George Springer. He's been one of the best lead off hitter in our generation, right? So you just need Sosa to come in and be a stabilizing force in the lineup. Maybe not every day because he's been struggling right now, but he was tremendous last season, right? But yeah, if he can help out this lineup when George Springer is still out with the toe fracture injury, then it could help out this Blue Jays lineup and like you said, survive the current right now that they're experiencing, right?
Correct.
Yeah, like we mentioned, Sosa doesn't need to be George Springer. Like the Blue Jays have traded for Sosa just to stabilize this lineup because they're experiencing a lot of injuries. Speaking of trades, we'll go to like a trade speculation or a trade rumor that we're hearing about the San Francisco Giants. What are you hearing about your catcher Bailey? Are the Giants really looking to trade your two-time Gold Glover catcher?
Well, the fans, media, I think even the ownership are open for Patrick Bailey to have less playing time. Right now, rookie sensation David Susak has pretty much put everybody on watch uh, with the Giants organization. So fans are calling him for more playing time. He's a very tall catcher. Um Normally, tall players don't play that position, but the spring he's actually one of the biggest topics in the spring. But like no one really thought, it's like, well, we have Patrick Bailey, right? So why so much? But he batted over 300 in the spring. He got down there. He was lighting it up, and they had no other choice to bring a different catcher because for our third season in a row, Patrick Bailey is just hitting around the 200 mark, and I think that's just like we know what Patrick Bailey is, and he's a great defensive catcher who can manage any pitching rotation. And but when your team is struggling so badly to put it together for another season, we have seen this roster or this organization for 3 years in a row not put up any offense, any momentum. It's just like just really mistake after mistake or just sloppy play on defense or even on offense. It's like you have to shake things up. You cannot go with the same thing. So I'm saying instead of because every trade rumor that comes, like they want Bryce to be included in that, they want Logan Webb, or they want another top prospect, right? So Giants are saying no to those, rightfully so. So why not include? I'm saying instead of splitting time with the rookie catcher with in David Susak and Patrick Bailey, maybe Patrick Bailey is the fish in a trade bait, saying like, "Hey, two-time Gold Glove winner. He can manage it. He can handle any pitching rotation. Why not?" Like that's what I'm saying. Like it's kind of crazy that after just like a week of this rookie catcher and David Sook, and you've seen the videos of the family celebrating the baby on the, like the one of the uncles is celebrating, and the baby's on the arms crying because they're jumping up and down, right? So like you see in those viral videos, but he's yesterday it was brutal. They lost the series to Baltimore 2-3. Same thing like the Blue Jays. You win the first game and you look bad the following games, and yesterday the two highlights is David Susak throwing out a runner from his knees, throwing a strike down, and having the only RBI, having an RBI single. Like at that point, it was the only run in the game. So like and he has the confidence. He has already, and a rookie, I think his first game, he challenged a strike. He called it AVS and said like, "Oh, I think that's a ball," and he wanted to have that confidence as a rookie in your first game as a pro, and having all this attention, and you just feel that confidence and knowing to go to the opposite field when you need to, not just a power hitter. So I think why not? Why I wouldn't want to have a 50-50 split. This is not football where you do a 50-50 split on the running backs. I think you just trade Patrick Bailey so you can get a better pitching rotation. This team needs same thing like the Blue Jays. You need something after Webb and Robbie Ray. Like you need some other veteran out there. So why not? Why not? I'm saying like,
Yeah, yeah,
well,
I
tell
get
me, is it
where
wrong for after
I
like
get
10 games? Are we really saying like, oh, let's go? The future is in this rookie after 10 games. Is that crazy enough, or to
I
demote?
get where I get where you are coming from and where the San Francisco Giants fans are coming from. Patrick Bailey is borderline unplayable right now, and I agree with you. His batting average career is 227. That's nothing. That's
Yeah,
you can't survive. You can't survive that in the majors. You need at least 250, maybe 260, 275, but 227 is unplayable even if you're a gold glover. But this is the thing though, you won't get anything for Patrick Bailey alone. Like you said, the other teams will ask for like a Brandon Webb. That's absurd. But you're selling low right now. You're selling low right now on Patrick Bailey. No one would take him for the price of, yeah, he can handle your pitching staff. Yeah, he's a gold glover. The thing with baseball, it's a stats baseball, right? You gotta have to learn how to like hit in the majors. Maybe wait for Patrick Bailey to like probably have a hot start, maybe in 2 weeks, 2 week streak, right? Of hot start, and maybe you can trade him. But right now, you're really selling low. No one's gonna take him at face value right now. I'm just being truth right now. I'm just being real right now.
you wouldn't. I don't know. I think like if you're a competitor, let's just say like a Houston Astros, who really don't depend on. Uh, they have other offensive powerhouse. I mean, offensive players to provide the offense, and that you need somebody to manage the bullpen. Or I'm just throwing out any other team, right? So, like, obviously, Seattle Mariners is not. You got Kyle Raleigh, right? So, but would somebody call and say like, hey, we have a we're contenders. We need some help, like to manage the bullpen, like the pitching rotation. So I think you have to put like what do you value most, right? So right now, a lot of teams have valued, especially the catcher position, have said like we value the offense first and then defense, which is it's okay, but like a lot, but um, but in Giants situation where they just can't get off their funk or out of their way. It's like you need players to actually spark up the team somehow. So you have to shake things up. To me, it's like why why demote Patrick Bailey to less playing time or just like 2 to 3, right? Like you have like your pitch for Logan Webb and someone else, right? So 2 to 3 games a week, right? So like to me, it's just like no, like I just try to get something. So and
This is what's tough with San Francisco Giants because you were lucky with Buster Posey, right? For
well,
the
I think
longest
that's
time,
hard. Yeah,
you had the best of both worlds with Buster Posey. He can hit and he can manage the pitching staff
hmm
and he can defend, right? So that's the thing when you see like
generous player,
Patrick
man.
Bailey struggling. Yeah, it's getting tiresome, but like you said, you have to the Giants have to like look for like the perfect trading partner. There's not much right now because even with the strong lineup of the New York Yankees is struggling as an offense as a whole right now, so they won't take Patrick Bailey who's struggling right now. So you have to at least wait until like probably late April to mid May to see like every team like see what's going on right now because if a team like you said Houston Astros they lost 8 in a row, they won't take a Patrick Bailey right now.
No,
They 'cause, yeah, they won't. So you have like I said, just relax a bit, but
it's
like you
blasphemy
mentioned,
to
you have
treat
yeah.
Patrick Kelly this way. It's blasphemy. I know that. But as Giants fans or media or baseball media, we're reacting within 15 games of the season, right? We don't have enough data. We don't have enough uh, numbers to prove like, oh, this player can bounce back up, right? Right now, everything, especially within April, we're just reacting to anything right now. And right now, the the roller coaster season of the 2026 Giants with it's up and down. It's only been we're still in April, so like, it's really been a consistency. Right now, they're under 500, um, 5 games under 500. They have only won one series or two, and they're just when they play good. I think like when they beat the Phillies last week after blowing up a save, blowing up a lead. They they come back and they win 3 in a row, and we're like, okay, they're getting out of the funk. They're still, they beat the Phillies 2 games, and then they come and beat Baltimore. So like finally, the, um, uh, Lee hit a home run, Chapman hit home runs, Adames and everybody else are hitting home runs. They're good. Like they're getting into momentum, and then they just look so flat and so many mistakes. And Willie Adames is like not at the cutoff. He's not running. He's not covering second base, and like like what is going on? He's just very slow, like just lazy on in the infield, like playing defense. So everything when everything's going bad, you just question everything, right? So right now Giants are questioning Young Lee. He has not lived up to the potential or the hype, right? Like he goes in flashes, but um, he's been injury prone. They play more baseball in the North American that they do in Korea. Korea, they have like 2 or 3 games rest throughout between games or series, right? So he's just not keeping up. So right now, that signing is looking very awful. Um, Devers trade at this point is just looking. That's a long contract and that's a lot of money. And you just when everything's going back, you question everything, right? Because right now, like within 3 weeks of the season, you only reported what you're seeing, and right now we're seeing just a really bad baseball team who is rookie GM that is learning on the job and learning what to say and not to say to the media, and he's going with the people the players that he knows, and he's not giving them any days off. So it's there's a lot of going on right now, and you talked about Basiposi being like being spoiled, but we also they come from a different Brochi. I think we were spoiled with Bochy as a GM because he brought healthy competitions to the lineup, to the teams, and he when players speak of him, like you never felt you made it. He made you feel like no, don't get comfortable. Like no, like someone else can come. You don't stop getting better because someone else can be looking back, and there's not that pressure no any longer within the Giants organization. Like to say like, oh man, like I better step up or some reliever can take my job, right? So it's like they just right now like we just there's a lot of players who think they've made it and they haven't they haven't made anything. So let's just say that, right? Especially
Yeah,
Bailey, right? Like it's at one point you have to work on your weakness in the off season, and right now like it's you just not just Patrick Bailey, but there's a lot of players who are there's a lot of decisions that are being questioned right now. So
yeah, it's pretty brutal right now for your offense because, like you said, Devers is not hitting well.
mhm.
Heliot Ramos is not hitting well. Young Holy is not hitting well. So that drags everyone down, and including Patrick Bailey. So they have to step it up right now because you're falling behind in the NL West right now.
Last place,
The
baby.
Dodgers is the Dodgers is slowly running away with this division. You don't want this division to be a laughable, right? And speaking of the Dodgers here, Armando, there's one instant when the Dodgers were playing the Blue Jays, and George Springer talked to the umpire about Shohei Otani's routine when he's pitching and when he's playing, right? This was cleared off, and they said Springer wasn't really asking if Shohei Otani was allowed special treatment when he's pitching, right? But do you think that Shohei Otani, or do you think that MLB is giving Shohei Otani a special treatment here when he's pitching?
Yes, yes. It's the Jordan rule,
Short
right?
answer.
It's the Jordan rule, right? Like it's the Kobe rule. You get those benefit of calls. Like it's just like Barry Bonds, right? Like Barry Bonds had a really good eye for the ball, and sometimes like there was a time period that if Barry didn't swing, the umps didn't call it, even if it was could have gone either way. They just gave him the benefit of the doubt, and a lot of pitchers were as like, hey man, like that's a strike, but they didn't get it
and,
because you get this
and
superstar. No one's there to see an ump work technology. There, people are there to see, especially on the road. You're there to see the stars play. So we have to remember that you don't want to be calling a strike for taking too long on a Shohei or Judge or even Guerrero, right? Like there, people fans are there to see a star player play, and hopefully they do something magical. No one's there to see an ump being called them out for a strike or delay a game.
Enlighten me here, Armando. You watch NL without the DH before, right?
Correct.
When a starting pitcher is on the bases, yeah, for sure you'll have extra time warming up, right? But have you seen a starting pitcher not being in the base pad and having extra time before pitches?
No, I haven't seen that. No, like it's um, no, I haven't seen that. Like but at the same time, it's kind of like not all rules go against the star players, right? So you kind of like, hey, you have to you have to give you have to roll with the punches, baby. Come on.
I know I mentioned this at X. I know Shohei Ohtani is the money maker of the
Exactly,
MLB.
right? So
So
it's the
they're
unicorn.
gonna they're gonna cater for him. They already changed the ruling for him last
Exactly,
year, right?
right?
So
So
yeah,
this is why they
there's not
went
much
to
you can do.
DH for both leagues, right? Because they wanted to see certain players pitch in American ballparks, right? Like it's or vice versa, right? Like it's this is why they're going to uh, in today's baseball, especially, right? So yeah,
And they're
it
not
sucks.
and
I think it
they're
sucks if you're losing and you're playing the defending champion, the ones that you lost. Yeah, you want to say something, right? So, but at the same time, he is the moneymaker for the league, and hey, who knows? Maybe he had some money on the game, so
hey, we're not going there. We're not going there.
maybe he was
but
like,
but
"Oh, I gotta
but
slow it down." I said 70 pitches through 5 innings or something, right? So
yeah, call your boy from that Cleveland Guardians.
yeah, Chase, yeah,
Yeah,
so,
Emmanuel Class A,
yeah,
welcome
yeah.
aboard.
That's it.
but,
Okay.
but yeah, they're not gonna punish Shohei Otani for being this multi-dimensional player, right? So yeah, if there's a special treatment for him, then that's the league's rule, right? You can't really say much about your star player, right? If they're having preferential treatment is what we
Mhm.
call them. But yeah, that's and that's the real big picture here. We'll end it there. The rotation isn't collapsing for the Blue Jays, but the margin for error is getting razor thin. If the bats don't pick it up or injuries keep piling up, this could turn into the biggest question mark for the Toronto Blue Jays moving forward. We want to hear from you. What should the Blue Jays do about this rotation? Do they ride it out or make a move or trust the depth? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Thanks so much for listening and watching,
J's
and
and
we'll see you
Johnny's
next
up
week
J's
on Around the
around the
Bases.
bases. Box scores, big moments running through the paces. Giants orange burn and Jay's blue proud. From the cove to the dome, turn it up loud.